Hello folks, welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. A lot happened in the last episode. We're pushing a lot of stories forward. But the most pressing thing, to be honest, is that we found out who is being sent to deal with us. And, well, it's not great. We also took Hunter offline, which is fantastic, but at the same time, he wasn't the real threat, he was just basically a pawn. So we still have to deal with that. So let's sleep. Our condition is also pretty bad, so we need to get a bit more money to get stuff back in place. Yeesh. Yeah, like our energy is just tanking at the moment. Lenny and Mina are ticking over as well. He's ticking over. We still need to earn some money. I think what I'll do is I got a plus... No. You know what? I'll do this. Automatic crit success. We get money, we get cryo up. That's good. We'll go and buy ourselves some really expensive... Well, it's cheaper than it was, but it's still not great. That's fine. We'll then do this, which is that we'll go and track down his agents. Yeah. Let's bypass that and extract the data. And then Hayden agent. We get a bit more money. Okay. So where's this? Hayden agent agency. Okay. Put that in there. Put that in there. Okay, then we go back to Feng. Managed systems engineer. Yeah, here we go. As you walk into the town borough, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenny. Keep your distance. Yeah, let's keep your distance. Or approach. Keep your distance. It doesn't look good. Feng seems to be explaining something, but Jenny is having none of it. She points to the door and Feng walks away, catching your eye as he turns. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenny. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming directly from the Ripper worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls the display a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dollars, hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, a word below. Conway. Feng says he's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly crypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait. What's this? A wasteland reclamation facility? Right here on the eye? He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked in the wastelands? Wastes? It's a section of Erlin's eye we couldn't reclaim, was too damaged, too cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have gotten there by going down the connected spoke from the hub, but that spoke's broken now. So the only way is the long way, round the rim, past the greenway. He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking, Conway Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of the Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. What's their angle, you say? Hayden has to be offering them something. Fen looks back at the screen, but if Hayden is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Feng stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Hayden has been planning has to be there, and we are going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by Halfa building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezes your soda. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about the tracker of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mass of scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my breaks. He winks. Feng grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out the door of the Tamburo without looking back. Okay, so we got another upgrade. Okay. With that done, a whole host of things is going on. Intuition, we got +1/+1, adds energy. Will cost us a little bit of money, but that will boost our low end. That will help boost that up. What's this? Bar shift. We get some money out of it, yeah, why not? Save up our money. Now the question is, do we want to pop our medicine now? If we pop it now, I might actually do it, to be honest. Pop our meds now. Get as many dice as we can for the next cycle. Hit up Lem and Mina. The crowd has been gathering have already gathered. By the time you get to the shipyard and you recognise faces amongst them, people you have worked alongside on the Hydril. The intervening cyclists have turned their excitement and anxiety, and a few of them smile at you. Instead, a nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lem and Mina and walk your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious. But Mina flashes you a huge smile and aware of the tension. Robot, she shouts, reaching out to you. Hug her. She gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment. Quite the turnout, her. Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of the crowd's strengths. The sound of argument towards the back catches you and Lem's tension. He is putting it lightly. This place seems set to explode. This isn't good, you say. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees. This is Esther Eargut of the Celios Foundation. The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. I am sorry, but I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of the Sidri Celios for the work you have done on the Sidral Horizon. Most of the crowd strain to see Astra's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sidri wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in Celios Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially amongst the ranks of the venerable Havanage Association. Unlike most of the core, we neither believe Erlin's Eye to be a threat or rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new, decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be master of its own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. You're all pioneers, just like those core citizens whose sidereal horizon will carry, in cryosleep, to the planet that will become the foundation of the first frontier world, Celius 1. At the mention of the designated world, excited conversations break out amongst the workers. There are citizens who will be able to create their own innovative, bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles set down by Celius herself: freedom, resilience, self-sustained sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havanage yards. As a reward for the efforts, you may now know that we are offering to select a group of opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision. The staff of Sidereal Horizon, who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decades transit through interstellar space. Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it. This draw has been performed at random by central allies of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you all have been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will read the Celius identification numbers of those chosen for the great honour. A murmur runs through the crowd. Celius identification numbers, licensed contractors? You've never heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and simmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Astir states, reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? You turn to see Lem still standing forward. Mina is scared now, and as the shouts start, Daddy? Someone throws something at the entrance and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see for the first time Havanage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel anger rising in the crowd. Lem, let's go. He doesn't move. They might call names. I can't. Mina tugs at his dog's tags. It's not happening, you say. Lem blinks rapidly and then turns to you. His open and closed mouth. He opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sounds of scuffles emerging from the crowd, of metacanitors bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Astir reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. When you turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina is sniffling into his jacket. You feel the sadness rising in you too. They screwed all of you. You were never even on the list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out a signal for the coming violence. Oh well. I half suspected it, to be honest. So it's going to be 3 cycles until that turns over. Let's get to sleep. So we even need to get enough money. Okay. That's not a bad hand. We need to get some food in us. Or some energy at least. How much to get across the gap? 100. Yeesh. Okay. Well, let's deal with the monster in the room first, which is Hunter. Yeah. Let's deal with... No, it's Killer, isn't it? Up here. Yeah. The mainframe. Yeah, let's deal with the mainframe because he's going to be waking up soon. Yeah. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is behind you, this sphere casting light into the strange darkness there. This is not how a mainframe should look, a centre, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off a rootless, branchless tree, only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here, you say? Quiet, Navigator hisses, then you see it, like a blade in the dark, an edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it approaches again elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us, you say. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it's not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the void where its eyes should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move closer to Navigator to talk. You saw it then. Killer has been blinded. We need to be careful, you say. Correct. The protocol is clearly operating outside established limits. It may be unpredictable. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. The array of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following sphere paths, condensed on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better distract the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the array together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. Get out, you say. You go speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in empty sockets. You realise now, if Navigator cannot move, then it's only a matter of time before one of the Killer's sweeps bring them directly through Navigator, and time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, 3 last fins, spindily feeding the mainframe a thin diet of data and power. Break these and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, this must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access by snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear and after image that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Okay. So what do we need to do this? We need data. We need unlocks. That's a branch access. Branch access. Okay, this is actually pretty serious. Let's descend. So Hunter's not active on this part of the station. Good to know. So we need unlocks. We need data. Havana agents. Yatagan agents. Oh, don't tell me we can't get data here. Because that's going to be really bad. Because I really don't want to go up the tower to get data. Keynodes. Maybe if we can get onto the other part of the station. Because this seems like suicide. A deal with Killer. Killer is terrifying blind threats. Okay. So how long do we have on this? There's no timer ticking over. We need to be quick. Okay. So we need to get money. We need to get everything. So you need to worry about him as well, and Ethan's. blinking debt, which sucks. Havana's messed us royally, so we can probably... So we can't get that. Okay, that one won't work. So a plus, so a 3 would also work. So we can't get anything out of there. Lordy day. Okay, we need to make money somehow. Yataghan. Yataghan is a 3. Okay. I'm just basically desperately needing cash. Because we need to get 100... we need to get 100 credits and get across the gap. That's energy, that's scrap components. Yataghan Insider would protect us. Interface Freight Operator would give us a bit of money. So we can do this a couple of times. Maybe get an item as well. What's this? Elo caps. Okay, that's not so bad. That's stealing from them, though. They won't like that. Didn't we have something that he wanted here? He wanted mushrooms. So he wanted more mushrooms. Okay. So let's do it one more time maybe and see what we get. Okay, yeah, time to go. So we didn't get the mushrooms we needed. Got some sit mine fragment parts though. Which are pretty good. I need to basically eat something to get my food up. Okay. We could make another ship mine, turn the pieces we have in for some extra money to get across the gap. His thing is ticking up, which is worrying. Okay, so we need to basically have a game plan in mind, really. Most of it looks like we need to get across the next expanse of the station. Man, that's a bad hand. I'm gonna... Actually, that could work. That actually could really work. Because Havana agents... Because they buy... They're paying for information about Havana, right? So, Havana agents. So we've got that. That's not great, but we can re-roll, which gives us a slightly better roll. So we can go to... Where is it? It's to here, the tea house, and say, we have these. Which just give us just enough money to go to Founder's Gap. And get that open. Right, across Greenway. As you step out into the passengers' passageway, something bows into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see a unfamiliar spaceship laden with heavy gear. He steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Excuse me, you say? She squints at you, shaking her head before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem, you say. They smile. You're sweet. Paki. Essa stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Paki raises her eyebrow at you. Essa, please, do you want everyone on the station to hate us? Essie hardens. They want to hate us. They want to hate us. They can hate us. He drops her lip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up the damn cordon. Cordon? Pakia gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. This station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Essia signs. I'm not saying they are part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction, but I am saying we need to get these supplies to Brer before someone starts asking questions. Can I help? Paki smiles slyly. See us here? Help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Paki raises her eyes. I can't pronounce his name. I ignores her. We are with the refugees. The ones Havanage has cordoned off from entering the station. Essie interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people who have no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Hakir sighs. She's right, people are trapped out there, and she turns to Essir. We understand that there is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Essir interrupting, but... Essir turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. That's difficult, you say? Paki forces a smile. Hakir, please. Essir gathers herself and the supplies. Essie, we need to help. Just like the refugees need us, we need others too. They smile at her. Hakir. No, Peaky. Oh, is it Peaky? Yeah, it's Peaky. Peaky. Yeah. Peaky turns to you. Yeah, Peaky turns to you. Come find us. The clambering Bray is docked at the Broken Spoke, past the Greenway, in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, through we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Essie turns to leave and Peaky follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Essie shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help, show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Essie already picking up speed as Peaky calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Okay, so that gets us back to the ferry, Greenway, service dock, derelict service dock. Why do you always have to wait for Feng? Is he going to be the one waiting for? When is he going to be the one waiting for you? Wild margins, artificial wilderness. Look for tracks. Okay, so this is us tracking down the bounty. Right. A lot of money. And that takes us to the wastes. Gather scrap, which would allow us to repair our condition. Clamber Bray. But we can't do that without supplies either. But what we really came for here more than anything else... The Greenway is overgrown. Yeah, what we came here for more than anything else... Greenway Gate. What the... Need a cipher? Okay, so my plan is scuppered. Right, so... that's got to tick over. We could do some stuff here, I suppose. Get some of our energy back. No, that's not great. Try again. Okay, so that kicks in. What's this? Castor. Castor. Or Castor. Curious data fence. You cross between two walls of units. One of the cavernous streets at the centre of the low end. The pressurised bridge is full of clack of Tavlar, the sound of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper, you turn to see a man sitting at a Tavlar table alone. Somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around, he gestures to the stool at the opposite side of the table. Sit. You sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the boards with counters, and at last the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Caster, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed with white or black. Day, you say. He rotates the board so the white caps are in front of you. Let's begin. You take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6, you roll a 4. I lead, he smiles, and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. Play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend you, Caster meets your eye. I merely see that you are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He slides a single cap onto an open point, a risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Always, you say. You roll a double 1, you solidify your wall. Caster whistles. The holding game, commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls a dice and leaps your wall in a single move. But you cannot idle too long, sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person. He looks you over his glasses, his eyes bright and wild. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. Oh, so it's castor. Yeah. You may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under casters before he solidifies his control of the game. So what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all of this, Castor asks. What does this tangle of truth make you? Free. Yes. Castor looks away through the glass to the crowded units on all sides. I can see that. Your life as an escape was never meant to happen, yet here we are. He starts removing the caps, his home board now full. Your life is an offsuit. It can go anywhere from here. You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his home board with a sense of inevitability. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologise. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. He rolls to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castor claps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with the last word. To our mutual benefit, he slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see, you say. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, he holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosity. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, the call of children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations you wash over you as you stand and leave. Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure that was there. Okay. So we can put scrap in to get a home built up, which would be nice. He's basically willing to buy data from us, which isn't great. Our condition is going to start to go down again as well. We haven't got a ton of money either. Okay. So we need to figure out some way of doing something. Lemmy and Mina are coming online too. That isn't the best suite of hands that we could get. They're selling parts we don't need. I need to make money. I need to get data as well. I mean, this is just all... I really don't want to go up the eye. Because if we go up the eye to get data... Yeah, encrypted nodes. He's only got 2 things and then he's going to come out and literally kick our backsides. Scout the dock. Perk. Okay. We need to put more keys into that to get that stuff unlocked. Oh boy. Like maybe sneak on board. Control protects the last spindly approach feeding into the mainframe. Unlocks access and you might be able to... No, that's the wrong one. I'm talking about this. Sidro is being loaded and prepared amongst all the commotion. It is possible to find a way on board. It's risky, but we do have maybe a way of doing it. Let's see what we can get. Come on. 50-50 chance. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Cedri Seal must be proud. You recognise the resonating voice of Caster immediately, and turn to see him hooded and tucked into the shadows near the viewing platform. Castor, you say. I see you remember our game. Good. He looked around, but the platform is clear. I'm afraid you have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavla a little difficult. He smiles broadly. Castor walks over to stands beside you on the platform. The tail clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up here, he explains. I hear there are some trouble at the Havanage shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. I was there, you say. I know, he sighs, meeting your eye. An ugly business. Celius are too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures at the Centrial. You know why they built this monstrosity on the eye? Control, you say. Certainly. There is no corporate oversight out here, but that's not all. He stares at the pristine yellow hull. Celius built it here, says Castor gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it. Anyone to know it existed. He rubs his forehead, and secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns to face you. There are people being loaded onto this ship as we speak, sleeping people, locked in cryosleep like the person you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celius wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of settled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, you can do something about that. You are like me. You deal with data. You can read it right out of the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need whenever I need it, as long as you are on board. With you on the Sidereal and with some minor modifications, he pauses, you could be my eyes and ears. I will keep track of Celius's grand project through you. In short, says Caster, stretching, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm going to need your help. Who are you, you say? I am a concerned party. Someone who likes to know what is happening when it is happening, not afterwards. It's not just me, you say. Yes, your friend Lem. That can be arranged. It is difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. Caster clunks close to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the Sidereal. It's a simple offer, and one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back, silhouetted against the ship. But to make it happen, I need your assistance. As I said, there's a Celius Foundation ship docked in a now empty shipyard. I need data from its servers. This will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. Caster looks over his glasses at you. Celius aren't stupid either. That ship is totally isolated from the station. You'll need to get on board if you want to access the air-walled servers. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. He smiles. I noticed his importance to you and little one. So cute. You don't extract the data from Sidereal Horizon. Sorry, you don't extract the data before the Sidereal Horizon leaves the hub. Then I will get the message. We have our options, but you are certainly my preferred one. But be sure when you act, Sleeper. Once you take the data from Celius, you'll set off a series of events that will likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You are bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Caster glances around as if to emphasize his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With Caster marching back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fade away, leaving you to contemplate Sidereal's horizon and the part it may play in your future. Okay. So. That ain't great. Let's descend. And let's go talk to Lem and Mina. There's no answer when you buzz Lima's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina sitting in the middle of the floor playing with Bun Bun. Hey Mina, you say. Hey robot, she says suddenly, waving Bun Bun paws without looking. Where's Daddy, you say. Mina doesn't respond. She walks Bun Bun across the floor, narrating quietly to herself. You look around the unit, it's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothing piled up in a corner. Mina is sitting by her bag, which is spilled out across the floor, her drawing slate cracked and dark. Play with Mina. You sit down beside Mina and she turns away, taking Bun Bun with her. But after a while, she turns back and you play together. She insists you both Bun Bun on a trip away, dragging the stuffed rabbit across counters and surfaces. You're just starting to look at fixing Mina's cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you? He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind, he drops the bag by the door and slumps on the couch. Is everything okay? You ask. Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forget the past recycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look. Now's not a good time. What happened? What happened? We messed up. That's what happened. We put our hopes in someone else's stupid schemes. He pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work, and I've run into more than a few from the crews. It turns out only long-term Havanage members were issued those Celius ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Havanage says they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows, maybe Celius pulled the wool over their eyes, but what does it matter? All was hours in the yards for a month wage and nothing else. He slams his hand down the sofa. You are giving up, you say? Lem opens his mouth to respond but stops himself. He looks at the open door again. They are moving the Sidral up the hub to the hub now. You know, he says without meeting your eyes. That's where it'll part from. They are bringing in a ship with all their cryo-sleeper pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. You could sneak on board. You could steal a ticket. You could do that. He laughs. There's no tickets, I was joking before, just those ID numbers coded to someone's identity, no stealing that. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been, just need a little time. He sighs. We had our hearts set on this trip, is all. Mina comes over and clambers into his lap. He smiles. What if I got you on board, you say? I missed you these past recycles. I missed that optimism, he chuckles. Lem strokes Mina's head. Look, you want to go up to the hub and ask around, be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here, and I'm sure that Sidror will bring in a crew. But be careful. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find a way aboard, you take it. You need help to get there, ask me. But for now, me and Meanie here are stuck to the eye. She looks up at him and smiles. Thanks, Lem. No, thank you, Sleeper, for coming by. He stands to leave and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you're out, back in the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Okay, so we need to get on to the ship that's here, yeah? So that's going to be Bluff Security Explore. That's going to take us time as well. Let's do a re-roll, hopefully get some better numbers. Let's try. Pray to the gods. Nope. Okay, so we're going to have to go into that with 6s then, because I'm not risking that and getting that locked out. Okay. I know this is going on a bit longer than normal, but I thought, well, since we're here anyway, let's give this a go. We're also in really bad condition. So we need to get energy back. We need to get energy back fast, some way. Best chance. Let's try this. Got a bit of money up. Got energy up as well. We are going to have to do some stuff next episode. We're not going to be in the greatest states. He's coming closer. Data, we haven't got anything we can sell. We got some sit mines. I might have to sell the sit mine to scrap. Get a bit of extra money in the tank. That might be worth it, actually. We'll have to see what happens. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Citizen Sleep, and I shall see you all again next time. Please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Goodbye.